So I've watched the 12th episode of the third and final season of Star Wars: The Bad Batch, the episode being called Juggernaut. Now, if you don't want to be spoiled by this episode, I did release a spoiler-free review earlier today. It will be linked in the cards and in the description, so go check that out. But a quick summary, this episode very much, the title, Juggernaut, kind of reveals a lot. The Juggernaut is a clone tank, which is kind of important to the episode since they named the title after it, but most thing is, just like a tank, it just keeps on going, and this episode does that. Now, there is I would say 3 parts of the episode, but really 2 parts. The action is in the middle, but it's all bookended by 2 slower scenes, which inform us more on the plot. But let's actually discuss the plot. So we got the Omega plot, and then the rest of the Bad Batch's plot. I'm going to say the Omegas for later because while that's not directly related to the title of the episode, I do think it's the more impactful, the more character impactful, story impactful, that kind of stuff. But let's talk about what Crosshair, Wrecker, and Hunter are up to. So they confirmed that the Empire is leaving. I was kind of hoping there would be a shouting match or some kind of argument between Hunter and Crosshair for Crosshair letting Omega go. But this does confirm that Omega didn't have a backup track on her. I kind of hoped she would have been smart enough to do that, but alas, that didn't occur. And of course, Crosshair's handshaking has returned. He failed Omega, so that's hurting his mental health. I said that was going to happen. Not to mention, he then reveals there might be a way they could get some information on where Tantiss is, and that being Admiral Rampart. So he's apparently still alive, but just on an Imperial prison camp. But when Crosshair is telling that to his brothers, his hand is shaking once again. And he says he didn't mention this because he didn't want to go back to Tantiss. The Empire pretty much broke him there. If it wasn't for Omega, he wouldn't be basically himself somewhat again. I mean, he's still Crosshair, obviously, but he was definitely broken, and Omega gave him back some of that confidence, which is, I think, why he's willing to face his fear of returning to Tantiss to rescue Omega. That's what's going on. So they give Feast help to infiltrate the Imperial Labor prison camp where Admiral Rampart, I should just say Rampart now because he probably lost his commission now. But yeah, so he's there, and they infiltrate the turbo tank that's being used to transport him, and they capture him. There's a cool bridge scene and a cool chase scene, and then they picked up by Fee. By the way, his Fee ship is pretty neat. Looks like half cargo freighter, half Imperial shuttle, which is just like an interesting design. It kind of felt a big kit bash, which works perfectly, I think, for her. And also, can I just say, the idea of rescuing somebody in a turbo tank because you have needed them, that kind of out of Rogue One, because didn't Cassian and K2SO rescue Jyn out of a X-Clone turbo tank, repurposing Republic equipment? Oh, we don't want to use it for our frontline stuff, but yeah, we can store it at the prison. Which is like such an Imperial mentality, but I kind of like that. And of course, the chase scene, which actually was released on a clip on YouTube the other day, on the official Star Wars YouTube channel, and I did do a reaction to that. But yeah, actually some comments from TK Troopers and all that. But there comes to a point where Rampart does actually try to escape from the Bad Batch, so Crosshair stuns him, and he's just thrown about for the rest of the episode until they wake him up to get the information. But apparently, the exact location of Tantiss is a closely guarded secret, so even people who know of its existence don't know every information that they need. The Rampart says he has a way, so he obviously, whether he does or does not, I don't know, but he's definitely doing whatever he can to make sure he's not killed by Crosshair, because Crosshair did tell him that he would like to, but there's more pressing matters ahead, in effect. So yeah, but I gotta talk about that bridge scene. It's just amazing. The Imperial Commons actually smart, like, oh, this is behaving weird. Let's try to contact that tank. We can't contact it. It's going too fast. It must be compromised. Let's actually close the gates. Smart. Except for one thing, he didn't count on the Bad Batch. He just rams through the barricades and takes down another Juggernaut tank that was being used as security, and then ramps off that turbo tank. I mean, I feel like that's something out of the Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know if that was the actual inspiration, but come on, like, you're taking a vehicle and you're ramping it up for another vehicle. I'm pretty sure I saw that in the Dukes of Hazzard. I'm pretty sure. But that's neither here or there. It was just a cool sequence overall, cool action scene. But let's really slow down and actually talk about Omega. So Omega is brought back to Tantiss, and Hemlock, being smart, decides that he's going to test Omega's blood again to make sure that the first test wasn't a fluke. Smart. And he had Emery do the test. But you can tell, Emery is depressed. I have a feeling she's feeling dejected. She's just going through the motions of things. Like, you can tell she doesn't want to be doing what she's doing, but she has no, I would say, no inclination to rebel and to resist. She's just dejected, depressed, broken, if you will. Kind of like Crosshair was. And I think that might be purpose. Like, several times the scene cuts to her after something, and she's just sighing. And that reminds me a lot of how Crosshair was when Omega was at Tantiss at the beginning of the episode. And I think those parallels might be deliberate. I think Omega, part of her story for the rest of the season, is going to be trying to get through to Emery, get her to not necessarily snap out of her depression, because that's very hard to do, but get a sense of confidence, get a sense of agency back, get a sense that, yes, she knows what she's doing wrong, and she can do something about that. And Omega, I think, is going to be the key to that. She's going to be there encouraging Emery, but now the other kids as well. Omega's going to get them on her side. She will. She knows how to plan, how to organize. She knows what she's going to do. Or more accurately, she knows that she's going to figure out what she's going to do. And that's, I think, going to be very bad for Hemlock in the long run, because I have a feeling Omega will somehow get through to some random clone as well by accident, some other scientist by accident. That's going to just snowball from there. But I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see the story develops, and I can't really wait for that. But I do think Omega will be very key to encouraging the kids and Emery and maybe other people as well. But that's just random speculation there, into having an ability to act, not feeling dejected, depressed, having actual willpower to resist, to stand up against. Meanwhile, the Batch is going to be doing their darndest to get to Tantiss and help from the outside, and you better believe that they will figure it out somehow. They definitely will. But those are just my thoughts on the episode. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on my latest content. You can also stay up to date on my content by following me on social media. I have a link tree down in the description which has all my social media links on it. Additionally, if you would like to support the channel, you can become a channel member and get early access to all my videos. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you always.